Welcome to this Eurogas Tech Talk, where we look at European-made technologies that can help decarbonise Europe's energy systems and create jobs in the EU. My name is Philippa Nussel-Jones, editor of Energy Monitor. Today we have with us co-founder and president of Kayrros, Antoine Rostand. Antoine, thank you for being with us today. Perhaps to start, you could explain a little bit about your company and what it is you do.
So Kayrros, first, the name comes from the Greek god of Kayrros, so the god of opportunity. The opportunity here is to use satellite imagery and science to get to climate action thanks to satellite imagery by tracking methane emission in particular, and reduce this methane emission to have a very important climate impact thanks to this satellite imagery. So Kayrros, we are a geospatial analytics firms. So we do artificial intelligence on satellite imagery to extract information that can be used by decision makers on the energy and environmental space. We are headquartered in Paris. We are 150 people. We have offices in Houston, in New York, in London, in Bangalore, and in Singapore. And our customers are all the largest energy companies in the world, the regulators, as well as the large investment firm, investing in the energy industry.
So could you explain, so that a lame person could understand a bit more exactly how we track? What is it you're tracking? Are you tracking the flaring of the gas, or what is it you exactly track from the methane?
We track the flaring, but also the gas that is released in the atmosphere without flaring, so that nobody can see up to now. The flaring, you could see it relatively easily, but now the good thing is there is a new satellite that uses hyperspectral bands, so it's the light that is absorbed by methane. It's very specific. So we see big concentration of methane over a specific location. And then we look at the wind, how the methane has been moved and dispersed in the atmosphere. And we revert that to calculate where it's coming from and at what rate. So it's physics and calculation when you look at an observation of concentration of methane to go back to the source and say, okay, this comes from here with this rate. So that's the way we do it.
And so what happens? Your technicians, presumably working in Europe or in your other offices, analyze this data, they see where the leaks are, and then what happens? Do you work with governments? Do you work with oil and gas companies? What happens exactly?
So first, we've worked with governments. So we've been very engaged with the EU methane strategy to push the fact that we can have, Europe can have extraterritorial legislation, because we are now able to see the gas that is produced in the upstream part and midstream part of before the energy reach Europe. So we can see that, hence we can mandate to the producing company that they fix these leaks, because these leaks are very easy to fix. So we work with regulators. I think that's the most important part. We also work with investors. We are asking the companies they invest in to reduce their greenhouse gas footprint, their environmental footprint. And we are also working with producers so that we can tell them where and if and when such leaks happen, so that they can fix it very rapidly.
How receptive are they when you give them this data? Do they immediately jump up and say, we're going to fix these leaks, or is it a slow process?
There is a huge recognition today that it is a problem. There was no way to measure this, to know where and the extent of the problem. Now that we know that there are these leaks, relatively easy to detect, no, there is no reluctance at all for companies to fix them. In fact, we've engaged with various companies, and they were very. So first, they asked what time, and they confirmed that there was this leak. So in many cases, we had confirmation of our numbers. A lot of them were related to maintenance operations, which means that now they probably will burn the gas instead of venting it into the atmosphere.
And you said that you were working with, for example, the European Commission and governments. Would you like to see controls on methane leakage become a legal requirement, so that before companies can sell gas, they have to be able to prove that they don't have, or they have very low levels of methane leakage?
All the industry is pushing for that in the OGMP, oil and gas methane partnership that is under the UN. And I think all the industry is requesting the regulator to do to level the playing field.
As a member of the public, is the data accessible to the public? Can I, as a member of the public, log on somewhere and see where these methane leaks are happening?
Yes, so what we do is we publish the data once they have been peer reviewed by academics. So today we are publishing through the IEA, the International Energy Agency. So we've given them our country-level information. We've shared also with the European Commission. So our view is to share this information when they have been peer-reviewed by academics.
And the idea of having something that was certified a guarantee of origin, would that be something that would happen at the level of the EU or the UN? How would that happen so it could be a global standard?
I mean, there are several possibilities for that. It can be EU-driven, UN-driven, or private. For now, we are pushing for private certificate, but clearly the EU should be leading the charge here, because they've implemented the guarantee of origin system that is working fine. We need to do the same for gas. And the idea is the same. You cannot guarantee that this molecule has been cleanly produced, but you can guarantee that a specific volume of gas has been cleanly produced. After that, it mixes in the system. But still, if we monitor the full supply chain before it enters the European system, then you know that this has been cleanly produced.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think that's very clear. And just to finish, I wanted to come back to you as a company and find out a bit more. What are your expansion plans? Do you have plans to open more offices in Europe to create more jobs here so that you can scale up your work?
We have a big office for R&D in Paris. We have an office in London, so now it's still Europe, but it's a different Europe, let's say.
It's still Europe.
It's still Europe, exactly. And then our plan is to expand as well in Germany, I mean, in all the largest European economies and further. I think in 5 years' time, this measuring methane and other greenhouse gas will be a huge industry globally. And obviously, Europe, as a leader in having a clean energy system, will have a lot of people working to make sure that there is no leakage of methane. It's repaired swiftly.
Thank you, Antoine, and your company sounds like it's in a good position to lead that work. Thank you for being with us today, and thank you for tuning in to this Eurogas Tech Talk. If you want to check out the other Eurogas Tech Talks, please go to Eurogas's website, which is eurogas.org.